So I'm going to start tying this vinyl John with a number 12 nymph hook. You can use a streamer hook. I'm not into telling you what brands I use and whatnot. Any streamer or nymph hook will do. What we're going to do also is we're going to put a weight on there, a tungsten weight, and I'm using a 3.8 millimeter or 5/32 on that. So we're just going to feed that through. Now you want to take a couple of nice goose bites. And you can tie them in one at a time. That seems to be at times the easier way. I, on the other hand, always attempt to tie them in together. And when that happens, you can end up dropping them also. So let's get a couple of new ones here. All right. So what you'll find with this little dubbing dam is they'll actually split right apart. You just put in some nice loose wraps until that you see that everything is lined up with your biots. And go ahead and put in some nice tight wraps. Now what I would like to do is normally cut these tips off, but I'm going to wind all the way up to the front towards the head of the fly. There's a reason for that, because instead of the normal copper body on the copper John, with this final John, hence the name, we're going to be using some vinyl body. It gives a great segmented wrap instead of using the normal copper for the copper John. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to jam this into the head where the tungsten bead is, just to hold it there. And I'm going to do some nice wraps, making sure everything is even with this final ribbing. I'm going to go back towards the front. Now this is where normally you would have the lead weight wrap. Right now we're going to add in just a little bit of dubbing to build up a little bit of body here, so we can taper the body down. Okay. That's all we do. Just a little bit past the midway point. Now you're going to take this and wrap it up as you normally would. And as you can see, give it some nice constant pressure. What I love about this, it just gives a great segmented body. Tie that off. A couple of wraps, of course. Now we'll put in, we're going to use a little bit of clear, or actually spotted thin skin. A lot of people call this check nymph skin. So tie that in first. There we go. Now, for the thorax, we're going to be using some black ice dub, which I love the sparkle it gives off. And also, it's a little messy going on, if you want to call it that. It's not perfect when you're putting on the wrapping around the thread, so it does give that nice impression of legs. Okay. Some nice big thick wraps there. Okay. Now, grab some turkey. You can grab whatever you want, actually, as far as the leg material. You're going to tie some on either side. Making sure that they're exactly where you want it to be. And you're going to clip that off. I'm going to grab another piece on the other side, about the same size. And making sure that you position them correctly. What we'll do is we'll snip that off now. And now we'll fold over the thin skin, or nymph skin as some people call it. You want to pull that slightly tighter than normal. Make sure you get that crease out. A couple wraps, fold it over. Now you're going to clip this off. It's not going to clip off as close as you may want it to, but don't worry about that, because we'll take care of that with the epoxy we're going to be putting on. Clip it as much as you can, close enough. Couple of wraps. Now we'll finish that off with a little whip finish. 3 or 4 turns, whatever you'd like, because the epoxy will be holding the thread tight. Now what I like to do at this point is make sure not any of this dubbing, ice dub, is not sticking up on the top. You just clean it up a little bit. We do want it rough looking after the fact, but right now just make sure that we have it all off the top. And I'll put in, of course, the epoxy. I'm using the UV set epoxy. Now what I like to do is fluff out some of the dubbing. Just use your napkin to do that. And there you have it.